According to the IRS, most millionaires have 7 sources of income. Hi everyone! Welcome back to Real Estate Supermoms! Today we are going to talk about 7 different sources of income from real estate business. I'm Havan Lee. I'm a real estate investor, an agent, and mother of 2 super active kids. As you may know, today, it's so expensive to raise kids, especially if they love to travel, if they're super active, and if they like to eat. So how do we support that lifestyle? Let's dive in. According to the IRS, most millionaires have 7 sources of income. Today, we're going to talk about what those 7 sources of income look like for real estate. Now, I'm not suggesting that you started with all 7 right away, but this just kind of help you to get some ideas and envision. And always good to start with the one that you're most comfortable with and then add in new sources as you're going along. Keep in mind as you are watching this video or listening to it on a podcast, if you find something here that's helpful for you, would you leave me a comment below? Or if you're doing something else in real estate that works super well for you, add it in the comment below. The purpose of this channel is to share tips, tricks, and techniques for all moms who want to become real estate supermoms. The first source of income in real estate that most people are familiar with is to become a real estate agent. That is where you represent the buyer and sellers in buying or selling in a transaction. In most cases, it's probably going to be a single family home, or it could be commercial as well. To become a real estate agent, be sure to look up your state-specific requirements. Most of the time, the state will require you to obtain a real estate license, then being sponsored by a broker or a brokerage firm. Becoming a real estate agent is really great in the sense that a lot of moms start off as a side hustle because it's so affordable to start and flexible as well. You get a commission check when you help someone buy and sell a property. The second source of income in real estate is becoming a flipper. It's exactly what it said. You're gonna find a property that's not so pretty and then flip it into something pretty and sell it for a profit. The finished product may look like what you see on HGTV, but the process can be quite a challenging and much bigger risk. You are going to take ownership of the property. You own the good and the bad that it comes with. To do this successfully, you need to find a property at a discount value and then have the money to pay for the remodeling and the bills, or we call it holding costs, while it's being complete and sold. However, if you do it right, you are going to get a much bigger payday, just like what we did with some of our property. It's up to 6 figure, and it happened to other people in our circle that we know as well. If you would like me to do a video more in depth on this topic, leave me a comment below and I'm happy to walk through that with you. Another lucrative source of income in real estate is wholesaling. What's the first thing come to your mind when you hear the word wholesale? According to the dictionary, wholesale is
the sale of goods in quantity, as to retailers or jobbers, for resale, opposed to retail.
And how does that all apply to real estate? The good news is you don't have to buy in bulk, or you don't even have to buy it at all. What you have to do is finding a seller who's willing to sell for less than a buyer who's willing to pay, and you get to keep the difference. That sounds a little bit confusing, right? Let me break it down for you. So for example, you find Jane Doe who's willing to sell her house to you for $100,000. Then you go and you find Mr. Smith who's willing to buy Jane Doe's houses from you for $110,000. Now you get to keep the difference between what Mr. Smith is willing to pay and what Miss Jane Doe is willing to sell, and then that is your profit. And this is one of the most popular way to start in real estate investing due to its low risk and low cost approach method. Although the above 3 sources are great, but they all will require you to be super active in the transaction, and you only get paid once. The next 4 sources that we are going to talk about probably going to give you more of a hybrid model, less active and a little bit more passive, and then get paid over a period of time. Now, if you find value in this video so far, go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, and share with other moms to become real estate super moms. And thank you so much for your support to help this channel grow. Alright, so what's next? Another source of income in real estate is long-term rental. Most of us probably have been a tenant at some point in our life, but how many has been landlords? Becoming landlords is another great source of income because you get to leverage other people's money to build wealth over time. I'm going to say it again. You get to leverage other people's money to build wealth over a period of time. And you also get to build equity on that property while having the tenant paying down your mortgage. So for instance, you find a property that you would like to buy and rent it out. And let's say $400,000. If you qualify for traditional loans, all you have to do is come up with the down payment and the bank will finance the rest of the purchase cost. And over a period of time, let's just say the same $100,000 house that you bought in 5 years, let's just say become $150,000. Now that house is worth a whole lot more, but the mortgage that you have on it, let's just say you did have a mortgage of $80,000, now it's going to become $60,000 or maybe $50,000 over a period of time. And we're not even talking about the tax benefit of owning a rental, but keep in mind, if executed correctly, every month you can expect like $200 to $400 monthly cash flow. Just think about it. $200 to $400 may not sound like a lot, but it can help with grocery, shopping, or maybe another vacation for your family every year. So if you hang on to that rental for 5 years, that's 5 different vacations that your family can take. So like, where are we going? But the downside of the rental is you do have to deal with tenant and toilet, and you don't get a big paycheck up front. Another great source of income for real estate is owning the real estate notes, seller financing, owner financing. This is one of my favorite because simply put, you are the bank in the real estate transaction. You finance a family who purchasing their dream home who otherwise would not qualify for a bank loan. And you can do this with your own money or partner with other people who have extra money in their bank account or their IRAs that do nothing for them. With notes is truly a win-win-win all around for all parties involved, and it's gonna make you feel like you want to throw a big party at every closing. To learn more about this technique, go ahead and check out the book called Who Needs the Bank, written by a great friend and a mentor of mine, Bob Zechmeyer. I'm also going to include the link in the description below so you can check it out. Thank you so much for staying with me. Throughout this, I'm going to ask several times. If you see something valuable, if you hear something great, please hit that like and subscribe to help this channel grow. And don't hesitate to leave me a comment and let me know how I can improve to give you better value. I truly appreciate you. Another interesting source of income that we're going to talk about is short-term rentals. And most people are going to be more familiar with the term called Airbnb. And you can start this small by, let's just say if you have a room in your house that has not been utilized for some time, or do you have a garage apartment, you can be the host and provide that hotel experience to people who want to stay for the weekend or maybe a few days at a time or maybe a short few months. The income coming from this is so much more satisfying because it's going to be higher than long-term rental. However, it's going to be require you to be a lot more involved in making sure the house or the place is ready for the guests to give them that wonderful experience. When you get to the point where you can purchase the property for the purpose of short-term rental and hand it over to the rental management company where you don't have to worry about a thing, you're going to be so much more happier, and trust me on that, because that's what we did. And I'm more than happy to link up the information of the short-term rental company that we use below. So if you're at that point now, you can go ahead and check them out. Some landlords would like to manage their own properties. Some landlords would like to hire property management companies to manage their property for them. The last source of income that I'm going to talk about today is property management companies. It is a great business because it's very scalable. You can start with managing one property and adding on as many as you can handle over a period of time. What mostly you do as a property management company is you market that property, you find a tenant and place the tenant in place, and then manage the communication between the landlord or owner of the property and the tenant. And most of the time, that communication is more heavy when there is something going wrong, but things don't go wrong all the time. However, you still get that management fee monthly. Flip side to it though is it's going to be a little bit slower money because most management companies going to charge between 8 to 10% of the rent rate a month. So for example, if a house is renting for $1,000 a month that you manage, you most likely going to get anywhere between $80 to $100 a month. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you starting to manage a lot of properties, then it's really add up. And it's really low entry fee because it's not like you have to purchase the property, you only need to manage that property really well. I know we talked briefly about 7 different sources of income in real estate. Which out of the 7 are you thinking about doing today? And which one has been working so well for you already? Please leave me a comment below. I love to and look forward to hearing more about your success. And if you find value in this video so far, please consider subscribing, like, and share with as many moms as you could think of to help other moms become real estate super moms. Thank you so much and bye for now.